She had been with this organization for 12 years. She had recruited over 2,000 people into it. She had given them her loyalty, her career, her closest friendships, and in a hotel room in Albany, New York, she finally understood what she had actually given them. Her body, because burned into her skin were not symbols of empowerment. They were his initials. 12 years, 2,000 people, and the man she called a genius had marked her like property. Maya was in her early 30s when it all started. She was a successful actress living in Vancouver. She had her own career, her own ambition, but something was missing. That quiet feeling that she had not quite reached her full potential yet. Then a close friend called her. "You have to try this program," she said. "The man who runs it is the smartest person alive." Maya trusted this friend completely. They had known each other for years. So when she heard about a 5-day personal development course, a structured program designed to help high performers break through their mental limits, she thought, why not? The course was run by an organization called the Apex Institute, and at the center of it all was a man named Vincent. Vincent had pale eyes and a soft voice. He never raised it. He didn't need to. When he walked into a room, everyone else got quieter. His followers called him by a special title, a name that placed him above everyone else. They said he had one of the highest IQs ever recorded. Some of them said the highest. Maya went to the 5-day course, and she left feeling like someone had handed her the keys to her own mind. The language was polished. The ideas were sharp. There were exercises about fear, about limiting beliefs, about the invisible mental blocks holding people back. Every critical thought a student had about the material was gently redirected. That resistance, the instructor would say, is exactly what we're here to work through. She signed up for the next level, then the one after that. Over the next few years, Maya opened her own training center in Vancouver. She recruited friends, colleagues, neighbors. She earned colored sashes, each one a rank, a sign of progress. She built her entire professional world inside this organization. The early signs were easy to miss. The all-night sessions that left people exhausted, the requirement to keep the teachings strictly secret, the way any critical question got turned back on the person asking it, as if doubting the system was proof of a personal flaw. Maya saw all of it, and she stayed, because she believed. 10 years in, Maya received an invitation. Not a public announcement, a private message from one of her closest friends inside the organization. A woman named Claire. Claire had been Maya's maid of honor. She had officiated Maya's wedding. The invitation was to join a secret inner circle, an elite group for women only, a higher level of commitment, a sisterhood. Maya was told she would need to provide collateral first. Just a precaution, they said, a way of showing trust, a private photo, a financial document, something personal, something that could never be made public. She handed it over. She trusted Claire completely. Only after the collateral was submitted did they explain what the group actually was. That is the architecture of the trap. You don't see it until the door is already locked behind you. Inside the group, members were assigned masters. They were required to be available at all times. A message could come at any hour and had to be answered within 60 seconds. They were put on strict calorie restrictions. They were given tasks, obedience drills, requirements that grew heavier every week. Every week, a little further. Every week, a little more. And if the thought crossed your mind that something was wrong, the training you had paid thousands of dollars for told you that thought was the enemy. That thought was your weakness. That thought was exactly what was holding you back from becoming who you were meant to be. That's not an accident. That's design. Vincent had spent years building a system where doubt felt like a character flaw. Disagreement felt like failure. Leaving felt like giving up on yourself. Maya had been in this world for over a decade. Her friends were there. Her income was there. Her entire identity was there. And now, finally, she had been chosen for the inner circle. She thought she had arrived. She had no idea what was waiting. In the spring of 2017, Maya traveled to Albany, New York. She was brought to a hotel room. The curtains were closed. Several women she recognized were already there. The atmosphere was quiet, almost ceremonial. She was told she would receive a symbol, a mark representing the 4 elements, something meaningful, something permanent. She was told to lie down. She was held, and then a cauterizing pen touched her skin. The pain was not symbolic. When it was over, she looked at what had been burned into her body. It took her a moment to understand what she was seeing. It was not a symbol of nature. It was not ancient. It was not cosmic. It was initials. His initials. She drove home alone. In the silence of that car, something broke open. Not in grief, in absolute clarity. 12 years of slowly surrendering her judgment, her doubt, her instincts, and all of it had led here, to a hotel room, to his initials on her skin. Within weeks, she was on the phone with a journalist. Within months, she had closed her training center, left the organization, and gone on record with her full name. She knew they had her collateral. She knew exactly what they could release. She went public anyway. The investigation that followed dismantled the organization from the inside out. Federal charges were filed. Vincent was arrested and convicted on all 7 counts, including sex trafficking and forced labor. He was sentenced to 120 years in federal prison. Maya became the lead plaintiff in a civil lawsuit with over 80 other former members. She wrote a book. She told her story publicly, repeatedly, without apology. The smartest man in the world is in a cell. Here is what made this trap work on intelligent, successful people. Vincent did not grab anyone. He waited. He built a system where each step made the next step feel completely normal. By the time someone reached the inner circle, they had already spent years being trained to dismiss their own warning signals as personal failures. This is called incremental compliance. You don't ask for everything at once. You ask for one small thing, then another. And each yes makes the next yes feel easier, even inevitable. The collateral system was coercive control made visible, but only after it was too late. And using trusted friends as recruiters was not careless. It was calculated. People don't question the ones they love. 3 things to watch for. Any group or relationship that requires you to hand over something damaging before revealing what you're joining. Any system that frames your own doubt as a flaw you need to fix. Any environment where leaving feels like personal failure, not a free choice. The people who fall for systems like this are not weak. They are often the most driven, the most ambitious, the most willing to grow. That is exactly who predators look for. If any of this felt familiar, even slightly, pay attention to that feeling, because that feeling is the part of you they were trying to train away. If you recognized these patterns, you're not alone. Subscribe. The manipulation tactics most people never notice. We cover them here every week.